Welcome back to the big board. So here we go. We're at the top of the 12 p.m. turn for the Brits, and this is where no smoke is going to kill a lot of innocents. uh, with the module rules for Goose Green, there are no MG unit fires into Goose Green or within 3 hexes of Goose Green, no sorties, no artillery, and no mortar strikes, no indirect fire. So that means we need to fire our platoons. This is causing a lot of consternation, and this terrain is not helping, and we have no smoke. And the problem with smoke for this, well, for all games, let me correct myself before I even say anything. The issue with this particular module for the British is that they only have 5, is it 5 or 8? Yes, 5 smoke shots that they can make with a mortar, which will fill smoke in 1 hex, like so, right? Now, that's all well and good, but then you've still got to roll the smoke success table, right? And that requires a 4 through 6 50 chance, but I have wasted 2 not being effective and had 1 effective, so I'm down to my last 2, and I don't have all my guys in close enough to execute an assault. I've not been able to suppress anybody at range, because when you fire at range, 1, 2, 3, 4, if I'm firing 7 factors with a 4 range, I'm gonna go -1 on the factors, so it goes from a 7 down to a 6, and then these guys are partly protective. It's gonna go down another 2. That takes it down to the 4 column. I'm really gonna struggle, and what I was thinking was that it would be pretty easy to get a morale check on these guys and have them all SYR or be suppressed or paralyzed, as the case may be. But on the 4 column, I have only 42 through 56, and if you know, it's a 2d6 die roll, right? And we use the first die as a decile, so it runs from 10 to 60, right? 42 through 56, so that's going to be 14 chances of making a die roll that will give us a morale check, let alone getting 61 through 66 and putting a step loss, right? So very difficult for the Brits to get the sort of odds, or if you want to use that word, combat factors into the fight, the firepower into the fight. Now, of course, I've got 2 units in this hex, so it would be 14. Back here I've got 7, 2 7s. But even with a 14, it would drop down 1 and then drop down 2 more, be on the 7 to 8 column. It's a 31 through 51 for a morale check, and a 31 through 51 through 66 for step losses, etc., etc. So, and that is what it is. So, I don't want to have these British units just get smashed away, and I'm clearly thinking that this is why the Brits, maybe this is why they didn't try and just assault their way into this, because they knew with all this open ground they were going to get chewed up really badly. So that's got 1 step. We got a 1 step loss here, 1 step loss here. This guy's got 1. This guy's got 3 out of 5. Another 1 there. These both have 1 at least. No, that has 3, and that has 2. So we've taken a lot of step losses, and I'm happy to take the draw at this point, or the historically accurate result. I had the same issue with Mantanakau, is that what it's called? I'm trying to look around here at the game. Mantanakau, I think it is, the Pacific Island battle where the Marines were just getting chewed up pretty bad. So look, we're gonna call it a draw. Not because I want to move on to something else, but I'm getting that queasy feeling in my stomach that I'm throwing bodies into the meat grinder, and now is a good time to stop. And we're well ahead of the curve from a time perspective because it's only noon, and it will be the noon turn, and it's misty weather, and the Argentinians are going to bring all this air power to bear, and that is potentially going to be pretty devastating for the British as well. So it seems like a good place to stop because I'm a chicken. So anyway, I wanted to let you guys know what's going on. Top of the noon turn. We've got all the way through to, all the way through to 4 p.m. So there's a whole bunch of turns here. We probably could just sit back and plink away until we got a suppression, but I got to get multiple suppressions here, for instance, to be able to advance safely without suffering from overwatch. So anyway, thought I'd share that with you. Great little module for you to pick up if you are curious about how TCS plays and how the game works and the system works. Not a lot of counters to mess with. Lots of opportunities to do suppressive fire and bounding overwatch and all that sort of good fun stuff, and use the mechanics of the rules, excluding armor, and that will give you a nice feel for gameplay. And you might want to go out and buy one of the older modules secondhand, or some of the ones that are still available from the Multiman website. So one of my favorite platoon scale tactical systems, and this has been no disappointment. All the best.